I think we're connecting to the group. It's thinking about it. Hang on. There we go. Okay, we should be live. Welcome. What I'm talking about today is confidence. Do you lack confidence in building your business online? Do you know you lack confidence in putting content out there? Getting in your stories and talking to your audience? Doing a live video? Like, are there various elements in your business that you know you should be doing, but you don't because you lack confidence? It's something I hear constantly in this industry, and I know that it's the reason why people don't do the things that they know they need to do, is because they just don't feel confident. So let's have a chat today about 3 tools. And when I say tools, I mean kind of actions, things to help build a skill, if you like, to help you build confidence. Because when you feel more confident, you'll do more things. Isn't that right? So if we haven't met before, my name's Helen Martin. I help social sellers, network marketers, those in the industry build online with modern social media strategies. But I do it in a way where, my motto is to be a human before a marketer. So if that aligns with you, then that you're in the right place. I don't want to have any kind of spammy tactics anywhere near my name online. I live and breathe by being a human before a marketer. So that's what I teach, here. But my first live video of the week is always something to do with personal development or personal growth, because you're the one that's going to make you have a successful business. All the social media stuff is cool. We need to learn it. We need to try it. We need to know how to put out content and show up authentically and all the things social media. But it's you that is going to build the successful business. It's not all the fancy social media stuff. So one of the things that is really, really important is your confidence. And when you're not feeling confident, you retreat. Well, does that resonate with you? Like, if you're not feeling confident, do you retreat a little bit from social media? Do you retreat from doing live videos? Do you retreat from doing stories? Do you retreat from, putting posts out because you're just not feeling confident about what to say or how to say it or how you look or whatever it is? Can you sort of relate? Put a number 1 if you can relate to what I'm sharing around confidence. When you feel good about something, it's easy to talk about. It's easy to put content out there. If you're confident with putting reels together, you'll probably put more reels together. When you're confident in showing up on TikTok lives or Facebook lives or whatever it is, you'll probably do more of it. Is that fair to say? Like, you get where I'm coming from when I talk about confidence. So how do you build your confidence? That's what I want to share today. So I've got 3 main tips for you. There's lots of probably different tips to help you build confidence, but there's 3 main ones that I highly recommend you take on board. And if you've got a pen, kind of write them down. This won't be anything new, I'm sure. Everything that I say, you're going to go, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I already know that. But sometimes we just need to hear it again before it sinks in and we actually go and do something about it. So that's why these live videos that I do at the beginning of the week are so important for you to listen to and do something about it, because you're the one looking at you, or you, if you're watching on Instagram or here at Facebook or YouTube, it's you that's going to make you build a successful business. As Mel Robbins says, no one's coming to save you. If you want to build a bigger, better business on social media, you better build some confidence. Because if you don't, you're only going to hold yourself back. And the days and the weeks and the months and potentially even the years are going to slip by, and you're going to think, oh, there's another year that I didn't get any results. So when you feel good about something and you feel confident about something, you'll talk more about it. You'll show up more, like in this industry, and talk more about it. So we need to build your confidence. Who needs to build their confidence? Put a number 2 down below if you need to build your confidence in this industry. I'd love to know where you're at. If you're with me, say hello. We've got Mike here today. Hello, Mike. We've got Debbie. We've got Rick. We've got Dean showing up. You must be watching from your business page, I think, because it showed up differently. Aging Boldly. Greetings from South Florida. Good to see you here. 1 from Mike, 1 from Rick. Good to see you. Twos. Great. And it just sounds better coming from you, Helen. Thanks, Mike. Okay. Hey, Mel. Good to see you. How's your detoxing going? I'm starting today. So Australia Day weekend. I'm obviously in Australia. If you didn't know, Australia Day weekend we just had. Went to a winery on Saturday. That was amazing. Went to a gin distillery on Sunday. That was amazing. Lots of food. But technically, it's weird to say this, but it's at the end of January. But my Australia summer holidays, I like to have fun, are kind of ending this week. My youngest son, has gone back to school today for his final year of school. So school's gone back, holidays are over, and I've started a reboot today, and I'm going to get back on my getting fit again and getting healthy again. So watch this space. You can always tell when I've had some fun because my face just gets can you tell? I don't know if you can tell. Anyway, let's get back on track. Okay, the first thing, and you will know this, but sometimes you just need to be told again. The very first tool, the very first thing that you want to work on and do is to take action. And I know you already know that, but hear me out. You can't think your way to being confident. It just doesn't work. The only way that you can build confidence is to go and do something that literally you don't want to do. But every time you do it, and whether it's successful or not, you start to build confidence. So to build confidence, you have to take action. Stop thinking about all the things that you need to do or want to do and actually go and do them anyway. So the trick is to recognize your feelings. A lot of people bury themselves in the sand and they just hold themselves back, but they don't really recognize the feelings that cause them to do that. So when you recognize the feelings of, okay, I'm holding myself back again, I'm doubting myself again, I'm feeling like an imposter, I'm not feeling confident in sharing that online or going live online. Like, you've got to recognize your feelings around this and then go and do the scary thing anyway. So 5, 4, 3, 2, anyway. It's like somebody going into the gym for the first time or turning up to, like I get it, in my fitness class that I teach, you can tell people that walk in the door that have never come to the class before because they walk in really reserved. They're nervous. They don't know what to expect. It's not their comfort zone, but they come in and they do it anyway. Okay, same thing with your business. There's a whole lot of things that you need to do. You know you need to show up more. You know you need to talk in your stories. You know you probably need to do live videos. You know you probably need to learn how to do Reels or TikToks or email marketing or whatever it is. Could be a number of things. But you hold yourself back. That's because you're not going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I'm going to do it anyway. I recognize that I'm stuck. I recognize that I'm not confident. I recognize that I have imposter syndrome. I recognize that I don't have the success yet, but I don't need to. You have to play your own mind games with yourself to just recognize it, but go and do what you need to do anyway. You cannot build confidence unless you go and do scary things. You've got to recognize that. So what is it that you know you need to go and do that you're a little bit scared to do? Recognize that and then sort of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go and do it anyway. It's the first thing you need to do to build confidence. You have to go and do the things that you're scared to do. It's the only way you can build confidence. It's one of the only ways that you can build confidence. Okay? Again, I know you know that, but sometimes you need to hear it again so you'll actually get a little bit bolder and have the courage. Have you ever heard the term courage before confidence? So the skill that you need to build is courage. Everybody starts somewhere. The biggest lessons that you need to get to where you want to go are failures and things that don't go well. You need to do those things and learn from them to get better, to build confidence. So you just have to be okay with that. Okay, so yes, Mike, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, do it anyway. Dean, I just spent the day planning my year and reverse engineering it. Awesome. Now to go and do it. Yeah, absolutely. Trish, I've researched what are some common denominators of successful people, and it all boils down to that one concept. They just do it whether they want to or not. Boom, Trish. Very well said. And that's, the people that you look up to that are achieving more than you are, they're just taking more action than you are, and they're doing it scared. You have to do it scared. But if you really want to build confidence, you have to go and do scary things and be okay with it. Okay, it's the only way that you'll grow and become, the person that you want to be. The second thing is, and this is a concept that Mel Robbins does talk about, and I'll give you her example in a minute, is creating an alter ego. Now, what do I mean by that? Like either thinking of a future version of yourself and, visualizing that, like what would you look like in 5 years' time, and that's success, and like stepping into that alter ego of yourself, or somebody that you look up to. So if that's too hard for you to kind of visualize, then, something like Mel Robbins has said, her alter ego is actually The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. So she would often think, what would Dwayne do in this scenario? So if there's somebody, I've had people in my team say that they've thought, okay, what would Helen do in this situation? So who is it that you look up to, that you work with, that's close to you, that could be an alter ego that you could focus on? Or somebody like, what would Mel Robbins do? What would Dwayne Johnson do? Who's your hero? Who's somebody that you look up to that you know has had success and probably done the hard yards? So create an alter ego of yourself, and when you're in those tough situations and you're holding yourself back, think about what would that person do in this situation. Apparently, research shows that it puts a little bit of distance between yourself and the negativity that you think about yourself, and sort of wallowing in that, oh, I can't do that, or I'm too scared to do that. So just put a little bit of distance between the scaredy cat you and the version of you that you're looking up to, whether that's you in a few years' time or something, or whether it's somebody that you look up to. Like, it puts a bit of distance between concentrating on the scaredy cat version of yourself and who you actually need to become, and getting some, some energy and some confidence, to do that. And apparently research shows that when you step into the version of yourself that you need to be, scared and taking the action, that it actually speeds up the habits that you need to create to become that better version of yourself. Does that make sense? Like, to become the better version of yourself and step into the leader that that you want to be and have the success that you want to have, you need to step into that version of yourself a little bit quicker. So whether that's you that you're visualizing in the future, or whether it's somebody that you idolize, it helps you put a little bit of distance, as I said, from the scaredy cat version of yourself, and helps you step into that version of yourself a little bit quicker that you want to be. So when you're in those situations, you're holding yourself back. It's like, I want to go live, but I don't feel like going live. Or I want to message that person, or I don't want, I know I should put something in my stories today, but I really don't know. Oh, I don't feel like it, or I'm not looking well enough, or whatever it is. Just think, okay, what would Dwayne Johnson do in this moment? Or what would my mentor say to me in this moment? Go and do it anyway, Helen. Like, think of somebody that would give you some good advice. Think of somebody that would take the action anyway. Get out of the mindset of putting yourself down and the negativity, and step into the positivity of looking up to yourself in the future, or somebody that you idolize, and think about what they would think in that situation, and the right answer will come to you. You all pretty much know what you need to go and do in whatever area of your life, whether that's food, exercise, dieting, losing weight, business, relationships. A lot of you actually know what you already need to do to get where you want to go. It's the action that sort of, pulls you down, and you don't actually go and do the things that you need to do. So constantly think, okay, what would Mel Robbins do in this situation? Or what would maybe it might be somebody closer to you. What would my upline, what would my mentor say to me in this situation? Or another way to look at it is, if you were giving advice to somebody else, if somebody came to me with this advice, what would I tell them? Isn't it funny how we can give the best advice to other people, but we don't listen to our own advice? Like, if you had a team member come to you and go, I'm too scared to go live, I don't know what to put on in my stories or whatever. I'm sure you'd come up with a pretty cool piece of advice for that team member. So sometimes you need to listen to your own advice as well. Okay. So the second thing is to create, like, just try it. Whenever you're feeling doubt or and this is what I was saying with number one, the tool, you've got to recognize your own feelings. You can't change anything you don't recognize. So recognize your own feelings, recognize when you're holding yourself back, recognize what your own fears are. And number one, take the action anyway. But number two, create that alter ego of yourself, or like somebody you look up to and go, what would they do in this situation? Or what would I say to somebody, in this, what advice would I give to somebody else? Create that alter ego, put a little bit of distance between yourself and, what you're doing, and step into the version of the self that you want to be quicker. That's the way to do it. Create an alter ego of yourself and step into that person before you're even there. And as I said, and I've got in my notes here, decades of research have shown that one of the fastest ways to change your mindset and create new habits is to step into the version of you that you know you want to become. Okay? And at least it means you're trying, and you need to try to fail to learn the lessons you need to learn to build the confidence. Everything you do, even if it doesn't go well, they're all lessons that are preparing you for something that hasn't even happened yet. Your greatness is yet to come. Your success is yet to come. Every time you try and fail, there's a lesson learned in that, and you'll get more confident. You'll learn more. You'll learn how to do things better, improve things, and that's all preparing you for the version that you need to be to get the success that you want. Because some of you, if you suddenly became a 6 or a 7-figure earner, you actually don't have the personality to cope with that. People that haven't stepped into that version of themselves, they gain money and they lose it because they self-sabotage. Has that happened to you before? Like, if you've had some wins in your business and then gone majorly backwards, it's because you weren't actually the version of yourself that is ready for that. Because when you're the version of the self that's ready for that, you'll hang on to that and you'll just grow and you'll keep the momentum going. So sometimes we need to grow as human beings to be able to keep that momentum going when we have some success. Otherwise, unknowingly, you'll probably self-sabotage yourself because you're not quite there yet as the person who's worthy of that kind of money or that kind of success, okay? The third thing that you want to do is prepare. And you all know this as well, but I'm going to say it again and drum it home. When you're not confident about something, you get a little bit nervous about something. Like I was talking about when somebody walks into my gym class on a Monday morning for the very first time, I see the nervousness on their face. I hear it in their voice. I hear it when they say to me, I've never done anything like this before. I don't know what I go, I can't, like, and they put themselves down and I'm probably not going to do very well. Like, they're nervous. Okay. The only way that you can overcome nerves or, grow that confidence is to prepare. Okay, so prepare yourself for what you know you need to do. Also, like, take it back to like school exams or something that you've done. How do you get confident going into an exam? You prepare, you study, you think about it, you practice it. If you're not confident with social media, you're not confident in putting something in your stories, practice the skill of putting a story together. If you're not confident in reels, practice. The only way that you'll gain confidence is to too many P's going on all at once. You know what I'm trying to say is you prepare for that. Like, I want to put more reels out. Well, then you need to prepare. You need to practice. You need to rehearse. You need to memorize. You want to talk on stage. You're absolutely crap scared of that. Like, how do you gain confidence in that? You prepare. You rehearse what you're going to say. You practice. So if you are not confident in something, what is it that you need to prepare and practice and rehearse? Maybe you're not confident in having conversations with people in Messenger. So what do you do about that? Well, you go and find some training and you listen to that training over and over and over and over and over and over again. You prepare until it sinks in. Most of you will watch a training and you'll forget 90% of what you've listened to. And then you're back in the same situation a week later. I don't know how to do that. Even though you've watched a training on it. It's because you didn't actually absorb it fully and you didn't take action on what you learned quick enough and you're not rehearsing it. You're not, preparing and rehearsing and repeating what you need to. So success in building confidence is having some preparation around that. What is it that I need to do? How can I prepare for that? How can I rehearse that? How can I repeat that behavior? What is it that you need to practice? Practice prepares you for taking the action that you need to take to build the confidence. You following along with me here? So preparing, repeating, reinforcing, relearning. There might be one particular training that you need to listen to 4 times before something finally sinks in that you need to go and do over and over and over again to give you that little bit more confidence to go and take the action. It's a script that you might be practicing and your version of that script so it sounds authentically, genuinely you. It's preparing, it's practicing, it's giving some thought, it's giving it some attention. It's not winging it. Winging it won't get you anywhere. It might get you somewhere in a short term, but it's not going to build you a solid business long term. Okay? So the preparation, the planning, the practicing, all of that. And the last thing I wanted to share with you around this is like the importance of being willing to do this and being willing to fail. When I was listening to Mel Robbins a number of weeks ago talk about her experience, she was saying being $800,000 in debt and virtually an alcoholic with her marriage breaking apart, if she didn't experience any of those things, there would be no 5-second rule. And if there was no 5-second rule, there would be no High Five Habit book. And without the High Five Habit book, there wouldn't be her third book, which is the Let Them theory. So point being, you've got to be able to fail in some ways and take from those lessons. And some of you would be nowhere near those kind of failures. $800,000 in debt, virtually an alcoholic, and marriage breaking down. Like that's the things that you have to fight through sometimes. But that disastrous experience led her to the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Do it anyway. So don't be as scared of the things that are going wrong at the moment. Don't be scared to try new things and it just doesn't go well, or somebody ignores you, or they don't like what you said, or you get a bad reaction on social media or to a message or something like that. You've got to do it anyway, and you've got to practice it to get good at anything. So, you prepare, you practice, and when you practice something, that's how you get better at something. Just, I've been engrossed for the last 2 weeks in the Australian Open. Anyone follow tennis? I love tennis. We actually went to Melbourne, which is a different state to where I am in Australia, to watch the tennis. We watched Novak Djokovic. That's another story. He was a bit upset this tournament. Anyway, I won't digress. But think of how much they practice and practice and practice and practice and practice and practice to get really good at their skill. Building a business online, having conversations in Messenger, doing reels, putting out story-based, curiosity-based posts on Facebook, it's all a skill. All of it is a skill, but you need to grow that skill. And the only way that you can grow that skill is to prepare to practice it and take the action even when you're scared to do it, and recognize, those feelings, and remind yourself, when you're recognizing those feelings, okay, looking into the future in 5 years' time when you're a multimillionaire, what would you do? Like, step into that alter ego, or step into a mentor or somebody's way of thinking that you look up to. And so what would they do in this situation? They'd just do it anyway. So go and do it anyway, Helen. You know what I'm talking about? I hope this gives you some kind of, idea or thought or, motivation to just push yourself a little bit further and to recognize what it actually really takes to be successful. Because the only thing at the end of the day is taking the action of the things that you don't want to do. And our human brain talks us out of things that are uncomfortable because that's what it's designed to do. I share that here all the time. Your brain is designed to keep you safe. So you've got to know that. that your brain is always going to talk you out of uncomfortable things. You feel uncomfortable about putting a reel together, your brain will tell you, it's okay, go and do the dishes instead. Or talk in a story or talk in a live video, your brain will literally go tomorrow. Or when you've learnt a little bit more, or when you're feeling more confident, you'll go live. You can't wait for that day. You're just not going to wake up one day and feel confident. It's not going to happen. You have to do it scared. You have to do it ugly. You have to practice it. So you've got to do all of that messy to be able to build confidence. So if any of you are sitting back waiting for this confidence to arrive, for you to post more, show up more, have more conversations, all the rest of it, you're just going to continue to wait, because you've got to do it ugly and messy until you build the confidence. It's the only way you're going to build confidence. So I'm just really encouraging you to recognize your own negative thought patterns and recognize what it is that you know you need to do that you are shying away from doing, and just do it messy and do it ugly and learn from it so you'll do it better next time. That's what's going to build your confidence. But do it quicker. Learn to fail quicker so you can arrive more confident quicker than sitting back and just continually to hold yourself back day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. You're not doing yourself any favors if you just keep sitting back waiting to feel better about things. You can't feel better unless you go and do things messy. Okay? I'll leave it on Mel Robbins' comment. I said it before. No one is coming to save you. No one is coming to build your business for you. No one is going to put attraction marketing right in front of you and have all these people attracted to you. You've got to create that. Debbie, amazing. Thanks, Helen. Going live after this training. Love it. Do it straight away. Dean, fail fast and fail forward. Absolutely. Mike, makes perfect sense. Debbie, the let them theory has changed my life. There you go. So without Mel Robbins being $800,000 in debt, virtually sort of leading towards being an alcoholic and having a marriage breakdown, you wouldn't have read Let Them Theory, which has changed your life. Like, think about the failures that Mel's come from to have the success that she's had. If she can do it, you can do it too. And I bet your failures aren't as bad as her failures. Okay? And exactly, Dean, no one else is paying your bills. You've got to go after it. So to build your confidence, do those 3 things I've mentioned about in this video. Is just get started, but recognize a lot of these things. That's why I'll always start my week with a video like this to get you thinking of some of the things that you need to do. And then, later in the week, I've got an awesome interview with someone who increased their volume by 100,000 in 12 months. So we're going to learn from her as to how she did that. And I can't remember what else, but I know it'll be good. So make sure you turn up with my other live videos. Coaching community members, we have our live Q&A Zoom calls this week. So I do 2 to capture all time zones around the world. That is your opportunity to get on Zoom with me and ask me questions about your specific business. What do you need help with? What are you stuck with? Ask me those questions. I love those calls. We have such great calls on those live Q&A Zoom calls. So make sure you catch those this week. Okay, so I hope you got something out of today's video, and I won't see you live here tomorrow, but I'll see you live the next day with that amazing interview. So don't miss it. See you then. Bye.